Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Azul Summer Pavilion. So if you have played either of the other two Azuls, you'll find that half of this mechanism is very familiar and there's a few other things to be aware of. So the very first thing that's going to happen is selection of the tiles. What you're trying to do is fill up each of the stars on your board. You are not going to be able to fill them all. It's going to be very rare that you actually get any of them filled. The first thing that you'll do is you'll choose one of the 5 circle sections of the factory display and you'll take one of the colors out of that. If you were to take this one, there is only one yellow in that section, so you would take that one. You would also take one of the purples. Why would you take one purple? Because purple is the wild color for this round. So those two would go next to your board. The other tiles would go into the center. If you were to take blue from here, you'd just take the 2 blue. You cannot take one, you have to take both. If you take green, you take the green, etc. all the way around. Now, once the first one is empty, the other player will then have the choice to go to the center or to one of the other tiles. They might go, I want those 2 blues, so they'll pull those out, and they have the choice. Center or other tiles. What's going to happen is when someone eventually does take the center, they'll be taking that tile as well as whatever color they choose. So if they choose red, they'll take those 2 red. The problem here is they will lose 2 points for taking 2. They must take 2 if they're taking the red, they can't take just the 1. If they want to take orange and the first player marker, they'll only lose 1 point. What that first player marker means is that once we hit the next section of the game or next portion of the game, they will be doing that first, and also as we start the next round of the game, they will get to choose the tiles first. This keeps going until all of the tiles have been pulled out. Okay, once all the tiles have been pulled out, we then go to the second round of the game. What's happening in the second round is you are selecting one of the locations on your board. So notice there's little numbers. That tells you how many of these tiles will be needed to use that number. So for example, if this player wished to use the red, he has at the moment 5 reds, so he could put one of them in that number 5 and the other 4 go in to the box, the tower, whatever you want to call it. It's the place that you keep the tiles that you're not using. On his next turn around, he may choose to put just 1 there, even though he has 3, because on the next turn around, he might want to go there. Now, I'm not sure on the scoring, but on when the scoring should happen, but my assumption is to do it as these tiles are putting out. So when he put this tile out, he would get 1 point. When he put this tile down, he would get 1 point. So it's 1 point for the tile you're putting down. When he put this tile out, he will get 1 point for the tile he's putting down, plus 1 more point for each tile that is adjacent to it. So he'll get 2 points for that. Purple, being the wild color at the moment, could either be used to throw 1 purple into the middle, the other 2 go back in the box like previously discussed, or he could say, I really want my yellow to be at a number 3. I only have 1 yellow, but these other 2 could make that yellow up to the number 3. Gets him 1 point again. And then this one by itself could just take that spot. The other thing he could do, if he wished to, if he didn't want to put that in straight away but was really trying to build up this area, is he could save that one for next round or for a future round. You can save up to 4 of your tiles for the future rounds. Once everyone has done that, bear in mind you're placing 1 tile on, then the next player does the same thing, and all the way around, then you play the next one on. I'm just playing one guy at the moment rather than both of them. Once that has happened, we then reset for the next round. 4 more of these tiles on each of the circles, and we go back to level 1. This one obviously gets moved across, of course we're on round 2, so greens are now wild. A couple of other things you may have noticed that are worth our while to talk about. First up, these tiles in the middle. What they're doing there is once you get this, it gives you a bonus from here. So if you completely surround one of these, you would get 1 tile from the middle. It can be any tile that you choose. If you completely surround one of these, so let's say that one went onto the 4 and he was able to get a number 3 on that as well, that's now completely surrounded, so he would get 2 from up here. And that could be 2 purple if 2 purple happen to be up there if you wish, that's the wild color, or any of your choice. If he managed to completely surround one of these portions up the top, which only takes 2 tiles, but they're the 5 and 6 numbered tiles, you would get 3 out of the center. That doesn't get replaced until all of the tiles get replaced. Once they're all replaced, then we replace that up to the 10, so we can keep pushing forward for the next rounds. Other things to bear in mind when we get to the end of the game is you will get points for completed sections. So the middle section being complete is worth 12 points, red is 14, blue is 15, yellow is 16, orange is 17, green is 18, and the purple is 20, as marked down the side of that board. And then you're also getting points for completely covered numbers. So if you have covered all of the number 1s, you'll get 4 points. Remembering there is a number 1 in the middle as well. You get 4 points. The number 2s, you will get 8 points. The number 3s is 12 points. And the number 4s is worth 16 points. Other thing to bear in mind is if you have any of these left over that weren't able to go on at the end of the game, you'll lose a point per tile that you have. And that's pretty much the game. It lasts for 6 rounds, and whoever has the most points at the end of all that adding up is the winner of the game. Look, I'll leave it there. Please go ahead and watch my gameplay to get a feel for how the game actually plays. So if you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplaned, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.